hope you're all still awake. Late Night Mega here, and this is going to be a bonus episode where we are just going to open packs and rebuild decks. I'll show you guys the final versions of the decks. I won't show you the deck building process. Ooh. Kind of feel like I just want to buy that card. So yeah, I've been... I kind of just want to buy that card too. But we might open them in packs, so that's why I don't want to just buy them. I'm going to buy 60, because we have enough for 188 packs. And I've been saying that I wanted to save... Not that much. I've been saying I wanted to save a bunch of the rupees we have for the new pack whenever that hits. I'm expecting it after this Bronze Cup tournament. But the last few players we've played against have been... This is why I didn't buy a Wind God. I have not had a very easy time. And so I'm just going to go through these really quickly. Last time we got like a bundle of 10... Oh, I got a third Merlin. That's awesome. The last time I got a bundle of packs, we got through them... of 10 packs, we got through them in like less than 5 minutes. So this shouldn't take super long. I'm only going to really stop at anything that I have... That's only a one of... Like, this is a new one. Fanfare, destroy an enemy amulet if vengeance is active. I mean, enemy amulets can be really powerful, but they're also pretty rare to come across. But anyways, yeah, we had a Dragoncraft deck that was just really kicking my butt with almost any deck that I was using. Even when I did defeat it, it was like just barely. It makes me kind of wonder, like, what sort of decks are going to be like the AA and the Master Rank decks. They've got to be decks that include cards from newer, or say newer packs, from other packs that we haven't unlocked yet. We're also going to get a portion of our rupees back. Oh, yeah, I want more of that card. Well, I mean, I did just get another one, but I'd like a third one. Oh, nice, another Minotaur. Trinity Dragon, is that... Oh, it just can't be attacked. Well, that's convenient. I don't think there's anything new here. Pompous Princess, Fairy Caster, Restore 4 defense. That's not what I want. Oh, things have flavor text in this game. That's neat. I got another Alucard. Oh, that's only a silver card. Yeah, this might even give us all of the... like one card of each. Ah, there we go. There's some gold cards. Oh, another Stratagem, another Silver Bolt. Didn't I already have 3 Silver Bolts? Get some random officers. Angelic Noble. Can't attack the enemy leader. That's unfortunate. So it just kind of makes me wonder what sort of things are we going to be up against you know, coming up, if I'm starting to struggle with some of the B rank or A rank opponents. Evolve, gain 4 shadows. Alright. These aren't new. Well, this one's kind of new. Oh, it's an Earth Sigil thing. That was one of the things I only had one of. Alright, Deadly Widow. I feel like most of our new stuff is going to end up being gold and legendary cards. Noble Knight. And we're just going to end up having 3 copies of everything else. Which, that's not a bad thing either. Another Silver Bolt, really? Necropolis Queen. This is the only card that... I guess there's a couple of them. I don't know, that's just a 1/1 with Ward. Woodland Refuge. Oh, it's that thing that was kind of screwing me up. Yeah, I learned my lesson about amulets. Again, I don't think there's... Oh, hey, we have a new one. Veteran Alchemist. Earthright, restore 5 defense to your leader. It's not really what I want to be spending my Earthright stuff on. A second one of those Grayons. Oh, I got another Ancient Elf. That'll be good for the Forest Craft deck. 8 play points for a 7/7 with Ward. Not bad. Wait, that's my third Ancient Elf. Cool. I would also like to get more of that number of other cards in your hand. Yeah, things that have evolve effects. I want to get some of those for each of the... some good ones. Because I think that's what we're kind of lacking in some of the decks we've got. None of these even look new to me, other than maybe this one, which still isn't new. Yeah, okay. I mean, maybe we do have to start buying things. Yeah, none of these are new. Oh, hey, I got another one of these Runeblade summoners. Definitely wanted to get more of those. But nothing else is really interesting here. Vanguard. Oh, so I got my third Vanguard. Yeah, another one of those. I don't know if I... What's Devil of Vengeance? Can only attack if Vengeance is active for you. Which, it's not going to be when you play that on turn 3. That's a new card. That is a new card. It's a legendary. What does this do? Wait, what does this do? Oh, we know what that does. Dragoncraft. 8 play points for a 3/1. It has Storm and Fanfare Summon a Dragon and Evolve Summon a Dragon. Okay. I can get on board with that. I have to put that in my Dragoncraft deck somewhere. I think I've got too much top end in my Dragoncraft deck right now. Ah, this amulet from the Havencraft deck that kicked my butt in the win streak challenge. It was because of that card. At the end of your turn, put a random countdown amulet from your deck into play. Its cost must match this card's countdown. So you first get an amulet, a countdown amulet that costs 4, then one with 3, then one with 2, then one with 1, as far as play point values. Yeah, that thing is it's good. Oh, Flame Witch, this is new. Whenever you play a spell, deal 1 damage to all enemy followers. I can get on board with that too. So, a couple new cards out of there. We gotta be getting close to getting all of the uncommons, or uncommon, the silver cards. They're uncommons. Oh, there's my 3rd Runeblade Summoner. That's awesome. Moon Al Mirage. Havencraft. 6.35 with Storm. At the end of your turn, fully restore this follower's defense. That could totally be worth evolving. I like it. Can be a card that's really difficult to take down. Okay, that's not new. None of these are... I didn't think so. None of these are new. None of these are new. Wait, what's Skull Beast? Oh, yeah, that's not new. Yeah, okie dokie. Oh, another Temptress Vampire. I do like those. I mean, 9 is a lot, but that effect is phenomenal. Wait, Way of the Outlaw. Oh yeah, that's a card that was kind of ruining me for a while. Alright, and we're halfway done with this. Devourer of Heavens. Countdown 5, summon a Holy Winged Dragon, then deal 1 damage to all enemy followers. And the Holy Winged Dragon is that one. Alright. Got another Veteran Alchemist. And a Burial Grounds. Which, that could even be a one of in my Shadowcraft deck. Maybe even 2, because I don't have a lot that spams the field in Shadowcraft. I'm getting a lot of the... I keep pressing the button for flavor text. Getting a lot of the... Oh, another Shadow Assassin. I know we have that one. Palace Fencer. Okay. Giant Dragon. 1 damage to an enemy follower. Oh, Glint Dragon. Yeah, I don't need to see what that gold card does. I said we have it. That's new. Forest Titan. Oh, no, we have that. Oh, that's not new. Oh, it's the third one of those. I could make that deck now. Because now I've got 3 of those. If I wanted to make that deck. I'm not seeing it. What's this thing? Oh, you're not even new. Destroy an enemy amulet. Okay. Beast Dominator. Okay, what's this thing do? It's a Bloodcraft. At the start of your turn, deal 2 damage to your leader if Vengeance is not active for you. Then give -2/-0 to this follower. Oh, so it's just a 5 play point 6/6 that gets mad if you don't have Vengeance active. But could also help you get
You're mine.
Vengeance active? Okay. Front lines. That's got to be a Swordcraft card. Called it. At the end of your turn, give +1/+0 to a random allied officer. Huh. I do kind of like the Royal Banner because that'll boost everything if multiple things are coming into play at once, rather than just a random one. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Night Vampire, I think I got my 3rd one of those if I didn't have that already. Alright. Let's keep going here. Doesn't this just transform... Oh, from your deck into your hand. That searches you a thing. Yeah, nothing else here. We're going to get a bunch of rupees back, too. Another Fafnir. Didn't I already have 3 of these things, though? Deal 2 damage to all other followers. That thing is just massive. I like it. Righteous Devil. Is that new? That is new. Fanfare. Gain Bane and Drain if Vengeance. Oh, yeah, I've seen that one. Played against it, too. Not the most impressive card. It's not horrible. Oh, another Cerberus. Didn't I already have 3 of those? Maybe I only had 2. I definitely like this card. Well, it's legendary, too, so... I mean, I know the rarity isn't always necessarily equivalent to power level, but to some degree it kind of is. I mean, there's plenty of gold level cards that I haven't liked, and even some legendary level. Give an allied follower Storm if Vengeance is active. So you would have to play this card after playing something else in the same turn. See, this is the type of card that I don't think is very good, even though it's gold level. I mean, it does something that the bronze and silver things just aren't doing. Storm is nice, but we'd have to play something else and play the 3-point thing in the same turn. Cleric Lancer, Ward. I like that card. Oh, that goes in the, Yeah, that Princess What's-Her-Face deck. Princess Lelia. I'd probably even build that deck now if I wanted to. We're 3/4 the way through. Titania's Sanctuary can evolve an allied fairy each turn for 0 evolution points. That seems good to have. So it'll make one of the and for 0 evolution points? I might even put 2 of those in a Forest Craft deck. Because if I can evolve multiple fairies a turn, I could see that as being good. Of course, I'd have to get 2 of them. Oh, here's another new one. Dragon Newt Charlotte. Storm and Ward. Oh, it's a Swordcraft card. Little bit low powered for being an 8-drop. See, that's another one. I don't think it's as insane as like those 8-drops from Shadowcraft. Another Silverbolt. Well, I'll get the rubies for it. Yeah, I'm not even caring about the bronze and silver cards anymore. Well, that's not going to do it. Maybe it will be time to start buying some specific cards. Dire Bond. Oh, another Dragon Bond mage. What's this one do? This is my first one. Oh, that's this thing. Oh, I thought I had one of those, but I guess not. But then I've seen it at one of the shops. Play a spell, summon a dragon. Yeah. Nothing interesting here. I feel like we also got to be pretty close to getting 3 copies of each of the silver cards as well. Homecoming. That's a card I don't care about. Elf Prophetess. Oh, sweet. Another Zeratina. That's cool. Oh, the Evolve doesn't give it any power or defense boost. It just gives you another dragon, which, that's not a bad thing. Oh, and I got another Holy Sentinel in this. Yeah, because this is one I needed a 3rd copy of. Got overshadowed a little bit by Zeratina there. Is that a new one? Deal 1 damage to the enemy leader and draw a card. No, but I've had that before. That's not a bad one. Drawing extra. I like drawing extra cards. Okay, well, that is my 3rd imprisoned dragon. Oh, that was it. Access cards became rupees. Let's just look at the... Oh, yeah. So, that became 100. That became 100. I acquired one of those. 3 over, got another 90 there. Got another 30 there. Another 30, another 30. 8, 8. I could also just skip all the opening and then it would go to this screen and I could, like, go over the ones that are new. It goes over what's acquired. It goes over the new ones. And of course, if they're pinned. Okay, so I do have 3 of these now. This is the fanfare and last words to get fairies. Cool. And then just, yeah, look at all these. Price of magic. We only acquired... Okay. Good. I didn't need... I thought we opened a 3rd one of those. And I had one to begin with. Whatever. Whatever. It's fairly inconsequential. Look at all the rupees we're getting back. Lots of 16s and 12s and 4s and 8s. This is pretty neat. We still have just a few more pages. I think these are just all the bronze level cards is what it looks like. I acquired way more than one of these. I know we saw at least 2 of them. Okay, so I guess another thing that I'm going to do, maybe even before I go into deck building, I might spend some rupees on specific cards. Ah, we do have all the bronze. We don't have all the silver cards yet. There's still 3 of them we don't have. All those packs couldn't give us the things we don't have. Tisk tisk. There's 6 legendary cards we don't have, and a handful of gold things we don't have. We're back at 142,000. Didn't we drop to like 120,000 or something? Yeah, we did. So we got like 2,000 rupees back around there. We can build new deck codes. I have new trophies. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to go around to some of the shadow vendors, maybe spend some rupees on individual cards, and I'll be doing a bunch of deck building off camera, and I will see you when I get back with that, so stay tuned for that. Okay, and we're back to the decks, so let's go over... Actually, is there a way I can X to view deck? Ah, this'll do, I guess. So we've got, oh, I don't like this layout. I'm not used to this layout. Okay, fine. We'll do it this way. So 1-drops, I am putting the Ivory Dragons into the Dragoncraft deck. Because a 1-2 body really early in the game has been proving pretty decent. At least it has been the times we've been playing Swordcraft. I think as an overall sort of deck building philosophy, I am leaning towards having more 1-drops, because you can also just play them out pretty much whenever, and not waste that play point. And then this one, it has value even later in the game, letting you redraw a card for the cost of 1 play point. Of course, we still have the Blazing Breath in the deck. That's not going anywhere. We've got 3 of the shape-shifting mages. I like his voice. No, that's not... No.
Flee while I am still me.
Yes, it's just that tone and the phrase in there. Anyways, this is a 2-drop I'm picking for a creature follower. Over the Dragon Rider. The Dragon Rider will get the immediate attack boost, whereas the Mage will need to survive a turn when you have Overflow active. But the thing is, if you have Overflow active, you're not really attacking with Dragon Rider right away anyways, unless you evolve it. But that's not what I want to spend an evolve point on anyway. So I do believe this is just strictly better than the Dragon Rider. You could play them both alongside each other. You'll notice I've taken out the Fire Lizard. I'm kind of avoiding some of the other 2-drops here. I don't think they're necessarily bad, but I don't feel that they're necessary in a Dragoncraft deck. So we have a little bit lower end here as far as like the number of 2-drops we have, but these 2-drops like this can draw us a card if Overflow is active. This draws us a card if Overflow is active. So if we draw these things later in the game, we can probably slap them onto like any 6-7 play point play that we have when we have more play points than even 7, and just get the Overflow bonuses. I took out the Fire Lizards for the Dragon Wings. Fire Lizard just seems like it dies pretty easily, and it only pings one thing, whereas if I'm against a deck that's playing a lot of 1-point defense followers, like Forest Craft, or especially Forest Craft, or the Forest Bats from Bloodcraft, or even like the Snowmen from Runecraft, you know, the spell boost thing that's spamming a bunch of those. I would like to be able to wipe them all out at once. And this can even be used just to kill one thing if that's fine. That's pretty much what the Fire Lizard would do. You know, maybe it'd get an attack in, maybe it could end up trading with something else. A lot of times, though, it just feels like it kind of wasn't. So we're going to try it out. And we have the Dragon Knight here to help boost play points. One Imprisoned Dragon. Might have more, might not. It goes well with a number of things. It's actually a great follow-up to if our opponents don't want to kill our Dragon Knight. We can kill it ourselves, get the last words because we're destroying it, but then we also get it back, and then get the thing again. So, yeah, that can be pretty nice. I only have 2 copies of Erd because I only own 2 copies of it right now, so that's fine. We've still got our Dragon Warrior here. Is our only 4-drop. Well, only other 4-drop. Another thing I'm kind of leaning towards is a lot of the decks are going to have very few 3 and 4 drops. I think the reasoning behind this is we do want something to play on turn 3 and 4. So we're not going to go without them completely or anything, but I don't think these play point values are super important. The reason being, like, once we hit 5 and 6 and 7, we're going to want to play our bigger stuff. And before then, we're going to play our smaller stuff, and our smaller stuff can even combine with some of this stuff and some of our bigger stuff as well. So more emphasis on 1s and 2s, a little bit less emphasis on 3s and 4s. Again, it also depends on the deck as well, as you'll see. But yeah, the 4s will just end up kind of getting outclassed as the games go on and not necessarily be super impressive later in the game. And I do want to generally make sure, especially with the 4s, that if there's something with a decent evolve effect, that this is where we want to be spending some evolve points. Dragon Warrior has been a mainstay for us the whole game. I'm trying out this thing. It gains Storm if Overflow is active, and it's being 5. It can combine, again, with any of our low drops when we have Overflow, and, you know, the Storm can be really nice, as we've seen with Genesis Dragon. We also are trying out the Dark Dragoon Forte. This thing can just, you know, again, Storm. And we have the Dread Dragons, just more effects that when they enter the battlefield, they do something, they kill our opponent's creature. So between Dread Dragon and Dragon Warrior, we've kind of got a lot of damage going around. I've also cut the Serpent's Wrath. Interesting. Also, Erd works well with Dread Dragon, resetting that, doing another 4 damage if we manage to get that off. We have the still just going with 2 of these, just a nice board sweeper if we need it. And Zernitra. I don't think I was pronouncing that right earlier. I'm probably still not pronouncing it correctly. We're trying out this card, the Storm Fanfare Summon a Dragon, and evolve it to summon another dragon. What's her voice?
You are free, my darlings.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna like her. Kind of trying that out in place of Genesis Dragon. It is another big card. And, if we get the chance, this also combos well with Erd if she survives somehow, because we can just use Erd, destroy her, bring her back, get another dragon. Orb Dragon also combines with Herb, Fanfare, destroy an enemy follower amulet, and we still have a couple copies of Fafnir in here for the top end. I don't know, I think just with these other Storm cards we have in here at 5, 6, and 8, Genesis Dragon just might not feel as necessary anymore. And we still have Fafnir as, like, the big, huge thing, and that's also going to combine well with Erd, being able to reset it, deal 2 more damage to everything else. So that is the Dragoncraft deck. I'm spending way too long talking about some of these, but that's okay. Bloodcraft. Not a ton has really changed, I don't think. Filled up on these couple. I think I'm kind of avoiding Bloodcraft for a little while. It's just going through here, some of the cards, they aren't really impressing me as much as I feel they should. Like, okay, this 7-drop deals 5 damage, but only if we have Vengeance active. It's a little bit bigger, being a 5/6. But I don't know. Vengeance, I have a hard time playing with this thematically, because I don't really want to drop down to low life totals, because then, your opponents can play things with Storm or things with, I know, this can give our Forest Bats ward, but that's sometimes not enough. So yeah, I didn't change too much to this deck. This is a nice effect, though. Of course, that comes pretty late, and then, like, some of the life regaining can take you out of Vengeance, so you can be, like, in a constant state of trying to get into Vengeance, trying to get out of Vengeance, so you're not dying to things your opponent is doing. And it just kind of seems like a risky play that really needs cards to line up with the things your opponent is doing as well. In the sense that, we have a lot of cards that are damaging ourselves to try and get that Vengeance active sooner. So I'm going to avoid Bloodcraft for a little while until I find something that just really kind of wows me. I do like the Forest Bat stuff, but I think it needs a little bit more of a push. Maybe the next card pack, when we find it, we'll have something. Havencraft. So I took out the Pegasus thing. I focused more on countdown stuff. I still have these. More on countdown stuff that can become active sooner, because I've been losing games. I'm only running 2 of these still. And 2 of the kill 2 things. Yeah, this one. Still keeping those at 2 each. Just kind of running out of room. But the games I've been losing with Havencraft lately, when I've tried the deck, I have all these countdown amulets. This one I still have. Well, I still have a couple copies of, because I do think the big dude with ward is pretty good. This one isn't really a countdown 5, but things that are countdowning for quite a bit, I'm trying to avoid, because if you don't have Skullfane out, you're kind of just waiting a long time for that stuff to happen. And the things that help accelerate that, aside from this cheap 2-drop, just aren't super great. Like the Sister Initiates and that. So yeah, I'm still running the Prism Priestess. It just, again, draws us a card. Random card. Yeah, you can see there's not a lot of 3s in here anymore. We do still have the Regal Falcon. Yeah, the Storm one. But I'm mainly putting this in because it's countdown 2 as well. Yeah, the Pious Fox, I do like that. Dual Flames, yeah. Trying out this card, this Moon Owl Mirage, and it seems like a really cool effect, just refilling its defense every turn. It doesn't really seem to play well with the... It doesn't really have synergy with the countdown stuff we got going on. But, so maybe this will find a better home if I build a non-countdown-oriented Havencraft deck. That's not what this is, though. Also, speaking of having a bunch of countdown stuff going and waiting for it to go off and then dying to our opponents, I put a couple of these board wipes in here. I kind of ran out of spots for them. And then we've got the Chorus of Prayer, this thing that we saw a recent Havencraft deck use against us. Just an insane card. And we still have the 3 Skullfane here. Now, Skullfane doesn't play nice with this. It'll kill the thing early before we get the full value out of it. But we just have to time when we're playing things. Like, if we've already played a couple Skullfanes and we're kind of running out of steam, I think that's where the Chorus of Prayer is going to step in and help with that. Still looking for some other Runecraft countdown amulets that I've seen some of the other opponents play, but we don't actually have those yet. So, yeah. Alright, Shadowcraft. This one, we're trying out this 1-drop. We're doing more of a focus on, like, kind of hyper getting more shadows and using fewer cards that want us to have shadows, but the ones we do have are still going to be more impactful. Still only going with 2 of these because I have a lot of other 2-drops. Bump this up to 3. Again, last word's draw card. I just don't want to be running out of cards later on in the game, especially if our opponents are able to draw a bunch of cards. We need to be able to draw a bunch of cards in this deck, and just keep the cards flowing and keep stuff going. And so that's why I'm also running the Soul Conversion, so we can destroy stuff, draw cards. This is why I'm not running 3 of these guys, because I have Dog of the Dead. So when Dog of the Dead dies, we get another Dog of the Dead in our hand. So that will also help us not run out of stuff. And it's a 2-1 instead of a 2-2, but I like that idea. If I get more Dog of the Deads, those are going to go in place of this guy. I mean, it could go in place of the Spectre. No, I like the Spectre for just being able to take down big things later on in the game. Still have our cheap removal, and it's the cheap Necromancy cost to deal 4. Just bump down to 2 of each of these guys. They're okay. I don't know which one is necessarily better. I mean, this one is guaranteed to give us 2 shadows once when it dies, and once at the end of the turn. This is also guaranteed to give us 2 shadows as well, when the Skeleton Knight itself dies. It'll just end up trading with anything. And then once when the Skeleton dies, which can be also food for our card draw spell. And then we still have, I only have 2 Foul Tempests. I would probably run 3, so that's one of our bigger Necromancy payoffs there. Put a couple Erd in the deck, because as you can see, there's a lot of things with last words, and just using Erd to reset them is going to be great. Also, I put in more, well, we're trying the Hell's Unleashers, the things that last word summon a Lich. So obviously, this goes great with Erd as well, because I can play this, kill it, get the Lich, get this thing back, this thing dies again, get another Lich. Seems pretty efficient to me. Also getting back another Cerberus. Fanfare getting Coco and Mimi. I mean, this is how we've been winning a lot of our games with Shadowcraft, is this card. And I'm glad to have 3 of it, and it's sticking around. This deck does have more of the 4-drops than most of the other ones, but I feel the ones we have here are very good. And I did go back to 3 Skull Riders, because as you'll notice, I also took out the 5 play point thing that destroyed a thing and could make a zombie token. So then I needed more payoffs for having Necromancy rather than just the Foul Tempest and this thing. So that's where this guy's going to come in, because when I am able to play him, it's just kind of better than generally the kill spell would do for the 5 play points. And then it uses our Necromancy, so then I don't have enough Necromancy for, or enough shadows for the Skull Rider. And then the Skull Riders are just kind of sitting in the hand, kind of wishing they could be played. But the kill spell, the 5 kill spell, let's pull it up here, just to do a little comparison. Where did it go? Call of the Void. Yeah, this is it. The zombie is only a 2/2, whereas the Skull Rider is a 4/3, so it's a lot better body than just leaving behind a 2/2. And then on our top end, Necropolis Queen, I'm bumping that up to 3. Took out the thing that grants ward, because I don't know if that's really going to be super necessary. And this can help us, keep cards flowing when other allied followers are destroyed, which we even have a lot of stuff like Erd and our card draw spell that's destroying our stuff. So we're going to get a lot of last words triggers, a lot of mileage out of Erd. I would definitely run 3 Erds if I had a third one in here, but I don't own a third one yet. And then we still have Pluto, because that's insane, and will also be insane if we ever need to reset that with Erd as well. And then for a fun of, I threw a Prince of Darkness in here that changes our deck.
Despair, come to me.
Yeah, that's going to be fun if we ever pull this off. Yeah, and these are the cards that, you end up getting. Look at this, 6 drop. Of course, once you get the 10, it doesn't really matter. So, because you can play all of these things, this is just kind of insane. Yeah. That'll be fun. Until I get more copies of Pluto or that Mordecai the Duelist, and get some of those things going in this deck. Of course, I'll have to make cuts somewhere, probably the Necropolis Queen. We'll see how things go. So yeah, that's the Shadowcraft deck, probably one of the biggest changes. Runecraft, the Earth Sigil deck, I did just get... did get some more... We're trying the Petrifications out as a way to banish it. That is the only Earthright card I have left in the deck that doesn't involve getting the Conjure Guardians. So this is going to be a little bit more focused on that. I had the 1/3 drop that had an Earthright, gets +1/+1, and ward. Yeah, this thing. I took this thing out because, honestly, I would rather just have the Conjure Guardians. And the reason for that is... I found another card that I somehow missed when I was first building this deck. We have 3 Wind Gods in here because we just want to spam the board with these Conjure Guardians, and then we need ways to pump them up. And we have this 5-drop. I want to get a third one of these in here too. But I only have 2 right now. The Earthright that gives us 3. I did take out the other 5-drop that only gave us 1. Because, this is just strictly better. I was going to leave one of them in until I got the 3rd copy of this. Just be an easy swap. But then I found this card. Summon a Guardian Golem. And then you give +2/+2 to allied Guardian Golems, plural. And here I thought this card was our pump thing. I am putting 3 of these in. I might take one of those out when I get the other one of these, but, I don't know yet. But the Twin Guardians, I'm like, oh, this is great. I have the Earthright out. I get 2 4/4s with ward. Well, why not do this and have a whole bunch of these Guardian Golems out and play Golem Protection, give all of my Guardian Golems +2/+2 in addition to getting another one. So... yeah, this seems really good. I don't know how I missed this the last time I built this, but I'm looking forward to trying that again. All right, Forest Craft. This one also changed quite a bit. The 1-drops are still the same as what we had. Still only going with 2 copies of Nature's Guidance and Fairy Circle. I think that should be fine. New to the deck, I am trying the Elf Metallurgist and the Wandering Elf Mage. Just fanfare effects that we can get some additional value from if we play 2 or more things. I bumped the Blessed Fairy Dancer down to 2. I know this was like giving us some really nice damage early in the game. Get some fairies out there and then pump the team and smash for a bunch. But these aren't necessarily the greatest thing to be playing on turn 2, so that's why I bumped it down to 2 copies. Actually, none of these are great to play on turn 2. What we want to do on turn 2 is like Sylvan Justice, or some more 1-drops, or the Fairy Whisperer. That's what we want to be doing. Turn 3, again, the Archer is just really squishy early in the game. I had to make one final cut. It was the 3rd Archer to get this to 40 cards, and ended up being the Archer because it's kind of awkward to play it on turn 3, so we don't necessarily need it right away. Though it would be cool if you get multiples out and then you spam a whole bunch of... That's just living the dream. In reality, in Shadowverse, you play stuff and most of it's just going to end up dying really quickly. And so that's another kind of philosophy I've been building these decks with. We've got 3 of these things now. So Fanfare and Last Words, we get more fairies, which is what this wants. And we have 3 Ancient Elves now, so this can also return all our other allied followers to hand. Some of these have the Enters, the Fanfare abilities. Like, it'll go well with these in the late game. We've kind of seen that happen to us against some other Forest Craft players. Only 1 4-drop in this. It's the Elven Princess Mage. So running 3 of those, because it does have an evolve effect that I would like to use. Not a ton of things I really need to evolve in this deck. And then we bumped the Wind God up to 3 copies. That'll be great with all the fairies, of course. Then we have this Will of the Forest. This is one I want to get more copies of, but we don't have that right now. Based on the number of cards in our hand. So we're putting more of a focus on getting a bunch of fairies in our hand and that. And also the Ancient Elf, returning our whole board to our hand. And then we can just storm off and deal a ton of damage with that. And then we have this cool card. We can evolve an allied fairy each turn for 0 evolution points. This thing is going to be huge. Only 1 copy of it because, well, I only have 1 copy right now. And I'd only want 1 of these in play anyways, because as we learned, multiple amulets on the field in a fairy deck or Forest Craft deck just really hampers your ability to play lots of cards each turn. And kind of forces you into really awkward plays too. So we don't really want to do that. But yeah, this thing, evolving a fairy. So this doesn't just mean like we play fairies and then we have to wait a whole turn. No, we can evolve one of them and attack one of our one of the enemy followers each turn. And we almost always have fairies to play in this deck. So that's going to be great. And speaking of always having fairies to play, Fairy Princess will just completely fill our hand. This is like the Queen Otohime of Forest Craft. Only this time we're getting fairies into our hand. And yeah, our curve here tops out at 6. But since we have so many cheap plays, and so many plays that we want to be comboing together, we still have plenty of things to do with more play points, as we know. So that's the Forest Craft. Swordcraft, down to 1 Swordcraft recipe. This is just the upgraded Knight's Tale thing. We got the 3rd Vanguard in here. We've got our 2. This thing, I think, is still like the worst 2-drop we have. It just feels like it's going to be the next card that gets cut. I just didn't care for anything else more as far as cards that we have right now. I did take out that other situational removal because, well, it's really situational removal. I can use Angelic Barrage. This has been a pretty good card for us, for the most part. 1 damage to all enemies. Damages our opponent as well. And then we still have these swordsmans here that can evolve and destroy bigger things. So it's still going to be like the range of 3 to 4 power where things get kind of awkward for this deck. But then we still have 3 Floral Fencers. These are the things we want to be evolving in this deck just to kind of spam the field. Don't have a lot of 3-drops. Took out the last Fencer. It just didn't seem super... But these guys don't seem super great either, but they are officers. Most of the cards are officers. There's very few commanders. Oh, this thing's an officer too. Yeah, so the only commanders in this deck, so this thing is here because it will either randomly get us our Royal Banner, which is awesome to have in play, as we've seen, or it will randomly get us either Sage Commander, which can be okay, or Sea Queen Atohime, which we know that's like the card that basically carries the deck. So we're going to get one of those into our hand every time we play that. And since this deck also likes to spam the board with lots of things, we have the Wind God as well in this deck. And then I also bumped it up to 3 copies of the command here. So we have 9 6-drops. I think that's fine. We're still going to keep this in the deck as well, just to deal with... just to deal with enemy followers with attack. And so that's Swordcraft. I'm looking forward to playing that one again. Did I just say that about Swordcraft? Why do I feel like recently Swordcraft and Forestcraft have now kind of become in contention for like some of our best decks? I think it's those two. Shadowcraft and Dragoncraft are now like our best decks. The Spell Boost deck. I guess I'll mention this real quickly. I did not upgrade this. I might end up deleting it. I don't really care about it. Again, it's just not my style of deck. Now, the Spell Boost deck, so we've got lots of cheap stuff here. All the same kind of things that we've seen before. This is kind of modeled after... what's his name's Kai's deck that we saw, because he was playing like all these cheap 1 and 2 things, and we have very few followers in here. The followers we do have are the Runeblade Summoner, can just be a big old creature for 4 play points. We have Merlin, which is this is the thing we want to be playing and evolving. Really cool. I got 3 copies of What's Your Voice sound like?
This is your fate. Death draws near.
Okay. But yeah, 3 of these things now. So I'm looking forward to this one because we just get Spell Boost cards, we evolve it, get another Spell Boost card, and strike Spell Boost the cards in our hand. That's going to be great. And then we have this other Spell Boost card that, you know, it's kind of like the Skull Rider from Shadowcraft, except this is 5 play points. This is going to come in, kill something, and we'll still have a 3/3 body. So this is kind of what I'm looking for, is things that have effects when they enter, generate some sort of value when they enter or when they die, because those things happen a lot in this game. So having bonus effects on top of that can really just help pull you ahead in these games. At least that's been my experience lately. And then we have our usual cast of Spell Boost stuff, destroying cards. Yeah. And then we have Mithril Golem. This will be cool when we pull this off. I would like another copy of that in here, but you know. And then we have Flame Destroyer. I felt like I needed another Spell Boost card in the deck. This seemed like the best one that we have, even though it's really just a 7/7, but it should be fine. Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this deck again. We do have the Summon Snow. I don't know about this one. It's going to fill the field with those weak snowmen, but we don't really have much other synergy to do with a bunch of 1/1s. Like, we're not playing Wind God and stuff like that to pump them or anything. So they're just kind of there to be bodies. Kind of like this is just kind of here to be bodies and just help with the other spell boost cards that we really want to get to. We have a lot of removal in the deck, which is why I think this could end up being okay. I suppose if I needed more removal, like some mass removal or something, mass pinging, I could do the 3 play point thing that does 1 damage to all enemies. I could put that in here as well. I don't know if that's going to be necessary when we've got Magic Missile in the deck as well, so I'm looking forward to trying this one out. So yeah, that is where we're at with the 8 decks that I currently have active. And as you can see, we're going to be trying the Spell Boost Runecraft deck, because it's been a while since we've tried that one. I'm looking forward to trying out like all of these again, maybe except for Bloodcraft and Havencraft, because Havencraft didn't change too much. And I've gotten a glimpse of some of those other Havencraft cards that I definitely want to get more of before trying those. But I'm looking forward to Dragoncraft, Shadowcraft, Runecraft, all of these again. And I gotta find something else that excites me about Bloodcraft, because right now it's just like trying to get vengeance and stay in vengeance and gaining life so you're not dying because you're aggressively putting yourself in vengeance. Yeah, I don't know, it's just not jiving with me as well as I would like. But anyways, that's where we're at. Those are the decks, those were the packs we opened. So next we will compete in the Bronze Cup Finals. But for now, I'll take my leave.